That's racist.
Hey, what up?
Howdy.
Ain't no Mast here to do an intro. I'm doing the intro.
Wow, 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 wow.
Wow, wow.
We're gonna play some defense right now. Oh, look, we have an AFK teammate. Let's go bump him.
Oh, good.
And we'll kick in the ass.
Bubaka going up the corner, picking up the little charge boosty thing. Up the side. Oh,
These guys are bad because I didn't have any business with that ball.
Given that we don't have word or music to put to this feels like the perfect time to add words to our theme song. And
I don't think I'm feeling that creative right about now. I'm just gonna.
I'm not either. I'm too tired. But, so, who all? That's gonna launch me right into something that I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Who all here has played the original NES DuckTales game?
You know what? I saw you purchase the DuckTales game on Steam.
So I own it on Wii U, and I purchased it on Steam for a very specific reason because I've played this game a lot. Have you ever played the original DuckTales game?
I have not.
So first off, it's fucking.
That's the one that goes, I hate them, right?
Yeah, it's a brilliant game. Like the original DuckTales game is amazing, and you should get it on Steam because it's awesome.
Okay. Well, what kind of a game is it?
It's like a platformer.
Okay. All right.
It was originally made for NES.
Wait, hold on. In case anybody is, let's do this at least halfway proper. Okay. In case anybody is new, this is a little bit of a funky show, but tonight we are bringing you the Plumes of Hazard. That is us, minus one person who had an ice cream emergency, by the way, who's
plus one who quit,
and plus one, yeah, one guy who quit, who's back here temporarily. But that over there is Fubaka, who is manning the RC car playing soccer.
It's not remote controlled.
I mean, yes, it is. You're using a controller.
Exactly. And then that guy right there, I guess I'm clicking on you, but it doesn't matter because I'm not the one.
Yeah, you don't run the show anymore.
I'm not running the show. That's Sean. That's understudy 77, and me. I'm the Angstful Vapor, and I have to say do this thing, and I have to say it's lunchable, everyone.
All right, so DuckTales.
So DuckTales.
So Vic Friel goes super tight controls, platformers.
Oh, he made the save.
So here's the thing, though. So in DuckTales, this game, it also has one of the most famous pieces of video game music that's ever been made. It's called the Moon Theme from the original DuckTales. It has been my ringtone for over a year, and I'm going to play it right now because I can. And then we'll get a copyright strike, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly.
So super famous piece of video game music, right? And Brian,
I don't think you can call it a super famous piece of video game music because I've played a lot of video games and I've never heard it.
Well, you're wrong.
Well, I also don't. Wait, what's the song from?
It's DuckTales. Anyway. So I'm watching the new DuckTales cartoon, the one where David Tennant is Scrooge McDuck.
Which is fantastic, by the way. You were totally
really,
right.
Really good, right?
Yeah.
In the newest episode, the one that just came out like last weekend or the weekend before or whatever, they're on the moon.
Mm-hmm.
And the moon theme starts playing.
Oh!
And I'm like, oh my God. And they're going through this episode. And then they cut to this moment where like one of the characters sings. They put lyrics to the moon theme. And it was amazing.
That's awesome.
It was like I was 5 again. It was amazing.
That's really cool. I like it.
Like that shit made my day. And like I Googled it afterward. I'm like, did I just hear what I thought I heard? And it's like everybody's fucking like freaking out about it. I'm like, I want them to like do the whole song because they only did a tiny little bit.
Sure.
I want to hear the whole song with words. This is awesome. Like this is the best thing ever. That's so like I was really super fucking excited about that shit. It was amazing.
Vic, I can actually feel Duro rolling his eyes via chat. Talking about
that's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
If I can get a good eye roll out of Duro, I've fulfilled my purpose for the evening.
It's true.
But still super exciting. So like that brought me in. So I went and bought it on Steam because I had it for Wii U and started playing it on Steam. Just that level, actually. And the remastered version was really good too. They remastered like all the visuals and all the music and stuff. And then I got like kind of nostalgic for stuff, and I found out that for Wii U they released some game by the makers of Banjo-Kazooie, and I'm like, that's exciting. But then I heard it kind of sucks. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do that. And everybody's like, well, this game's better. So this game's called A Hat in Time, and I've played a couple levels of it, and it's very Super Mario 64-ish.
Okay.
And it's super dope. Like, I'm enjoying it. The only thing that sucks is I just bought a new computer, and it has Mac support, and I'm like, oh my God, I can play it on this amazing 5K screen. It doesn't really have shit for controller support on Mac, this game. So like, first game I chose to play on my new computer which is a Mac with a real video card in it, I can't really play.
Oh.
So I had to move to the other Windows box. It was depressing.
Yeah, Rob actually just brought that up. I was actually going to mention that next. He said he's asking about Google getting into the gaming world.
I mean, they probably will. A lot of people have moved off of YouTube to Twitch because money and all that shit. So, Vic, I have played Cuphead. I will be honest, though, I am not a huge fan of games that are painfully hard just for the purpose of being painfully hard.
Just for the sake of being hard.
And that's kind of what Cuphead is. Like, it's
hey, what was that one you and I played co-op on Steam a while back?
Was it
the cartoony? The cartoony kind of funny.
Yeah. It was a Microsoft game. Same people who made Castle Crashers.
Yeah.
Really funny.
Yeah.
Oh God, what was the name of that game? Now I want to play it again.
I don't know. It was really funny though. Whatever it was.
I'm gonna Google it.
I'll play one more game because that game was fucking disappointing.
The intro and all that stuff was hilarious, right? Like, you know what I'm talking about. Like, yeah. Battle Block Theater.
What?
Battle Block Theater.
Battle Block Theater. Yeah.
Oh God, that game was so good.
It was fun. I thoroughly enjoyed going through it with you. It was very entertaining.
It was a fun game with a funny ass story and just like, but screw Bob. Nobody likes Bob.
Like take both their boosts.
And so you just got a new computer. You were just talking about that just a moment ago. And I did mention a couple weeks ago that I built a PC. The first PC that I've built since like 02 or 01 or something. Like I haven't built a PC in forever. I have been thoroughly enjoying playing games again. Like I haven't played any computery games in quite some time.
So I have been particularly video game nostalgic, and I'm sure Mast has already done this, but since I'm the one who actually told him about it, I got and built one too.
Yeah, he was talking about how his kid likes to come up and toggle it because it makes so much noise.
Mine does too. She was actually playing Kirby the other day and having a blast with it. I mean, he was just going backwards into the wall, but still having a blast with it.
Right. You smack her there. You're like, no, you're not going to beat the high score like that.
That way. I'm trying to get her to go the right way.
Yeah.
She'll get it in time. And that's not so to Rob's point, I'm not a real gamer. Like, I got a motherfucking kid, man. Like, I just want to have a little bit of fun with a game and then put it down and be done. That's why I don't play Rocket League. It takes way too much practice.
Yeah.
I don't got that kind of time.
The what I've been playing on there mostly so far has been Path of Exile. Was one that I didn't get to play before because there was no back support. Very entertaining game if you're a dungeon crawler kind of person from the Diablo 2 world. That's amazing. It's really really cool.
3 on Switch for a while.
What's that?
I did Diablo 3 on Switch for a while.
Is it any good on the Switch?
I think it's a lot of fun on the Switch because it's the same Switch pick up and put down thing, which suits itself really well to Diablo. It's the same fucking game.
Yeah.
But that easy, quick pick up, put down thing is just great. And there's a lot of games that benefit a lot from that.
Sure.
So
don't you people have phones?
What's that?
Don't you people have phones?
I have 2, actually. It sucks.
Oh, no. Did you not hear about that old Blizzard thing that happened a couple months ago?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Everybody's wanting Diablo 4 or whatever, and they come out with a freaking mobile game.
Yep.
People are freaking out. Love it.
Oh. All right, let's do it. It got silent all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that was
the worst.
thoroughly entertaining.
I'm gonna uninstall Rocket League. Literally, I get shit on for my positioning, and the ball's right fucking in front of him, and he's just like, ugh! And the ball just like bounces over him. So yeah, fuck that.
Mm-hmm.
How many ladder points have I lost today? Okay, I didn't drop a division.
I would agree with Fallout. Like, I've gotten a lot of leverage out of Fallout. Probably more out of any of the Elder Scrolls games, though, with all the mods that are available for them.
What do things happen when people are getting attacked in their own?
何？お前はもう死んでいる。
Hey, boy.
Nani?
Welcome everybody to tonight's fans of where's who?
I don't know.
Why is only the white people? Oh,
You joined up and he left?
No, my fucking camera's broken. Can you see me?
oh,
Don't.
Duro. Welcome. Am I late?
Yeah.
Oh, 9:22.
We
Too
were
many
talking
ones.
about DuckTales.
Can I get
right.
side chat?
I
there
gave
we
you
go.
side chat already.
Whoopsie.
Oopsie.
Oh,
So I think we may have mentioned this before, but Dusty said I have more hours in Borderlands 2 than every job I've ever worked except one. That's something that I wanted to really play because I do have it on Steam and just never played it because I didn't have a PC. So I installed it and tried to use the Steam controller and could not do it. I just couldn't do it.
That game
Rob,
is
it's wrong.
specifically tough with a Steam controller. Now that you have a PC, may I make a recommendation?
Wait, back up. What did you say about the Steam controller?
That shooting games can be really hard with a Steam controller. But now
Oh, yeah.
that you have a
It's
PC,
not a good. Yeah, get it.
I have a recommendation for you.
Yeah, hit me.
Buy a brand new Xbox One controller.
Yeah.
Bluetooth support directly to your computer.
Yeah.
And the Xbox One controller is probably still the best controller that's ever been made.
why does Rob say, "Do I not know what's going on"?
Oh, they were saying that you would be disappointed in our beginning of the show because we were talking about DuckTales.
Oh yeah, no, we were talking about DuckTales. I'm like, he was talking about the music from. I'm like, yeah, that's the music. Goes, I hate them. You know that song, right?
Not gonna play it.
No, but you know what I'm talking about. You don't have to play it.
Yeah. Sorry. Continue your discussion.
But yeah, I would strongly suggest an Xbox One controller. That's what I do all my computer games on.
That's a really good idea, and I haven't done that yet. And I do, I haven't used an Xbox controller in a while because I did not buy an Xbox One. I did have a 360, but that was years and years ago. At this point, I haven't touched one in a long time, but I do remember liking the controller. And it's not the original Xbox controller, the one that was like the size of my torso.
No, so this is the Xbox One controller, but you have to make sure that you get a new one because the old ones require a dongle, and fuck that. The new one is correct Bluetooth.
Wait, what? How do you know if it's a new one versus an old one?
I think they only sell the new ones now, probably.
Oh,
I mean, I'm still a little partial to this, but
so that's the old. Is that the 360?
Mhm.
Yeah. So I do really like the Xbox One. The Xbox One controller is a lot like the 360 controller, and just very, very comfy and nice. And I play a lot of games with this. I even tried to use the Steam controller for Hat in Time, thinking like, okay, so my Xbox controller is not going to work on a Mac. My PlayStation controller is not going to work on a Mac. Let's fucking try the Steam controller. No, still not going to fucking work. Not on that game.
I mean, you should be playing shooters with mouse and keyboard, pleb.
I wasn't playing a shooter. It was a
Yeah,
platform.
I'm talking to Angsty.
yeah, I know. And I think I've talked about this before. So I grew up playing FPS on a controller, really. And I never quite made the transition to mouse and keyboard on an FPS specifically. And I just don't have
Plebo.
I just don't have that thing. Whatever that is with an FPS.
Coordination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An FPS, I need sticks. I need sticks for an FPS. It's weird. I know.
So I'm like that with a platformer. Like I cannot, and I play a lot of platformers and like action adventure games. I cannot play them with a mouse and keyboard. Like I have to have a controller for that type of game. I do prefer a mouse and keyboard for shooters, but I don't play a lot of shooters. I play mostly platformers and action adventure, and I have to have a
like there are some people that play Rocket League with a mouse and keyboard. When it comes to driving anything, for the most part, I need a controller. I tried switching to mouse and keyboard for Rocket League. Doesn't work for me because.
Oh, is that right? I figured you use a mouse and keyboard for it.
I mean, when I got the game, I started on controller. It felt natural.
Yeah.
Because like when it comes to anything that involves looking around, like I invert my y-axis. Like,
of course you do, because you're a smart man.
Right? Dude, I was that kid in Halo. I had to pause at the start of the match. Wait.
Every time.
Racing games, Angsty, at all?
What?
You do racing games at all?
Nah, not really. I've played them before, but not
the one I would suggest is Forza Horizon.
I was gonna say I played the old Forzas or whatever when they were.
Forza Horizon is a lot of fun, like completely open world, and you can get a lot of different cars into them in a lot of fun ways. And you can get like if you buy the games for Windows or Xbox Game Pass, which is like $10 a month, you get access to like all of Microsoft's game library, including Forza Horizon and a bunch of other shit. It's worth.
What about this? What about this new Google?
Yeah, we just mentioned that right before you joined, I think.
That thing looks kind of cool, man. Like I'm still not fully sold on like cloud gaming, but it looks kind of cool.
Yeah.
What was the one that what's his nuts?
Because Nvidia has something like that too, like a cloud gaming thing.
It's the Nvidia one that.
The Shield.
Yep, and Steam has it with the Steam Link, and like it's kind of cool to have. Like my old hackerspace, we had a Steam Link downstairs, so like we would boot up the computer upstairs and then go downstairs on the TV to play multiplayer games on the Steam Link. That was kind of cool.
I've got one sitting right there, and I've never used it. The Steam Link, yeah, it's in that little package right there. It's been there for like a year.
I just don't mind like.
Because you bought it. You bought it at the same time as me, probably when it went on sale.
Yep, yeah, it was basically free. Yeah, I totally got it, and it's just been sitting there ever since. I never bothered with it. So the old boat anchor gave me his pass to get in that NVIDIA gaming thing where you have a total thin client, right?
Yeah. And
I played around with it a little bit. I've got a pretty solid interwebs connection here, but it just didn't translate. For some reason, it's just never it was never quite right. It's like playing a game at 20 FPS or something, right? It was just
especially when you're doing like big games.
Yeah.
Like, I could play a platformer on something like that all fucking day, right? Like some 2D platformer, something that's just kind of light and fun.
Yeah.
I do that all fucking day. But like when you start talking about bigger games, which I probably favor the platformers anyway, but still.
Right.
You start talking about like the Assassin's Creed Odysseys of the world and shit, and like I need dedicated hardware for that shit. That game's fucking massive.
Yeah. Oh, and back to the controllers, by the way. So the Steam controller, I think, is really cool.
Yep.
It's a good idea, but that touchpad thing for your look.
Well, you've also like so think about like why the mouse and keyboard still exist the way they do, and all the times that they've tried to change it. It's the same with the controller. Like Steam's trying to do something really cool. And people that if that's what they started with, I bet you they're brilliant with it.
Yeah.
But like guys,
it's poorly laid out in my opinion.
On a classic controller. Like I need a classic controller. That's how I grew up. That's what I know.
And you can even slightly reposition them, right? Like you've got on the Xbox one versus the PlayStation one, right? Sticks are totally different places.
A classic controller.
But you gotta have them there.
Yeah, and I personally like the Xbox layout, like top joystick high, other joystick low more than I like the two low on the PlayStation at this point. Although I was a really big fan of the GameCube controller. That was a dope controller.
The PS4 controller, I'm surprised as popular as it is. At least I know any pro Rocket League player, I think like the ones that don't play with mouse and keyboard, everyone uses a PS4 controller.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
I think it made the button layout maybe better. The fact that you have the two bumpers like right on top of one another. I think
you do on an Xbox too.
It's not the same. Because this is a trigger.
Yeah, I also never got used to like the new way of holding controllers where you've got two fingers up here.
Yeah,
like I have never been able to do the two fingers up here.
No, you shouldn't. You should be able to just Roll. You're a guitar player, Sean. You should know how to roll fingers.
No, but like, you're supposed to hold it like this now.
No, fuck that.
But I can't do that.
No, you shouldn't. What I mean is you should just
one.
Don't let some elitist pricks tell you how to hold your fucking controller.
Well, nobody's going to tell me how the fuck to hold my controller.
See, the problem is if you don't hold it like that, then you probably won't be a pro builder in Fortnite.
That's probably true. And that like throws my life dream completely out the window.
Right. Masty, how's your ice cream emergency? Everything okay?
Yeah, it was good. It wasn't an emergency. It was a scheduled ice cream meeting.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, during our fucking show, which we just moved days. You're going to schedule a meeting during that? Come on.
I didn't schedule it. The pistachio company did.
Yeah, I thought it was Ben and Jerry that made him do it.
Those bastards.
Yeah, there's a new pistachio ice cream coming out.
So Ben and Jerry forced you into a meeting?
Ben and Jerry had us meet with the fucking pistachio company so we could do tastings.
What he hasn't told you yet is he's Ben.
Dude.
That's,
there's no way Mast is from Vermont. Let's be real.
There,
Too Florida to his own
you
good.
gotta taste the different products. Different pistachios from different places taste differently. Just like Starbucks does it with coffee, McDonald's does it with dead dogs. It's just
this, by the way, is a pimp box.
no, fuck that. No.
No.
You know
No.
why?
No.
A, no peanuts.
No.
B, there's probably half cashews in here, and cashews are, everybody knows, the most superior droop.
What is wrong with you? Why no peanuts?
I don't know, man.
Peanuts suck.
Pistachios,
No.
man.
Almonds
No, actually,
Pistachios are in here.
No, there aren't enough. Is my
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
there's-
I could deal with some more
If
pistachios.
you filled that whole thing with pistachios, you'd be talking.
That's
I just found out that you can get the pistachios shelled, like the whole bag of them
mean
already
like-
shelled.
You mean like this?
No, yeah,
Yeah.
no, purple bag, son, up your game,
Purple bag?
nigga. Yeah,
What do you mean purple bag?
purple bag, cracked pepper and sea salt.
Oh, I don't. Do they make those in the shelled version? Because you're right. The cracked pepper regular ones with shells on
Not
are
that,
great.
not that I've seen,
But these things are already shelled, like you were talking about, and they're amazing.
Mhm.
Really, really solid. But I've really been enjoying these things because pistachios, yes. Cashews,
So
yes.
take
Almonds,
some
yes.
of those, dump them in there,
Yeah.
shake them around, then we can be talking.
You'd be all right. Those little things have saved me a ton of money for lunches. Like when I'm hungry, like take it like a handful of those things. Done. No cooking, no nothing. You just sit here and work.
So,
No.
Kabaka, what are you
Sorry.
vaping?
Before I get to what I'm vaping, Shuff, I actually made me remember, sent me a bag of some pistachios he got. It was a particular brand. They were salt and pepper pistachios.
Yeah.
And I've never had anything other than just plain salt. I don't know. Pistachios are one of those things that I wouldn't want to go past salt and pepper on. Like you get like habanero pistachios or some shit like that.
No, you probably had some of the ones out of the purple bag.
Yeah.
The salt and cracked pepper. You know, I think it's sea salt
Surprisingly.
and pepper. Yeah, they're really good. Yeah, and they're a handful. You just sit there and fucking crack them and eat them and crack them and eat them and damn it.
Also, what is this world coming to when I'm the one bringing us back to vaping?
That's true. That is a little weird. I'm a little creeped out.
I'm uncomfortable right now
About what?
that I'm the one that brought us to vaping.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna ask about vaping questions.
Mm-hmm.
How about it, Fu?
Oh, right. Vaping on shitty juice in the Narca on the limo. Angsty.
You were describing your shitty juice to me earlier. I was surprised.
Yeah, I'm waiting on vape mail. It's been taking longer than expected to get here.
Right. So this week I've been mostly vaping on my standard, which is a Limelight RAM Room on top of a NAR EA. Naria? NAR EA. I was still calling it an EA.
Narnia?
Narnia.
Yeah, I think that's what Todd called it, but I can't bring myself to say Naria. It's weird. I just like the EA.
If you look inside of that, you'll find a whole magical world with an ice queen.
Boop, 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 boop.
Yeah.
And the
It took me a minute. Got it. I got an open tip on top, not the one that I freaking lost the other week or the other day. And inside is rail cracker. Delicious. I'm actually running out. I put a new order in the other day. I was surprised, by the way. No, I don't think I'm gonna say that. Sean, what are you vaping on?
Oh, dude, that's really good. The EA Sports Stripper, like you could do that old EA commercial. Nar EA.
EA.
Yeah.
It's in the game.
Norier. It's in the Addy.
It's
note to self, people. If you want to continue vaping on your Orion and you don't have backup pods, don't try to take the other pods apart to rebuild them.
And don't use Tide Pods.
Tide Pods do not fit.
I saw a video of someone saying, "Oh, look, you can take apart the pods and rebuild them and put them back together." No.
Pistachio RY4 from Dojo was great.
Yes.
Limelight Gloom, Narda, Omen Tip, Abolishment. Mod that will not be named, Narka with Pistachios, PB&J. And mod I can't pronounce with the Nar EA and Abolishment.
It's called like the ventriloquist or some shit, right?
Yeah. No, it's called the Mood, which I can pronounce. It's the name. Quadro. That's it.
Yeah.
That means in a picture frame.
Look at it.
That means in a picture frame.
Yeah. I did actually put myself on the list for a mod.
What?
I did. So I have one of my favorite mods, especially when I travel. Probably my all-time favorite travel mod has been my Bolt.
Mm-hmm.
And they dropped a list for White Delrin Bolt V3s that are highly engraved by Ricardo, and I like Ricardo.
Ricardo's a cool guy.
Exactly. So I'm going to get a Bolt V3 because it's such a good travel mod because I can pop off the door and put my little Lego hand in. And it makes it so easy, and it's great. So I put myself on a list to get one of those. If they make them, then I'll probably get one, which would be fucking cool. I do want to talk about like these three addies at some point, but
it's Lonely Robot.
I know.
Hello.
Yeah.
I was chatting with him in Discord, and he said he'd stop caring about the show. Then, well, he cares now. Bitch.
What you got, Mast?
What?
What are you vaping?
I just said my story like 2 minutes ago.
He doesn't have any pods.
Yet. I can make it. No, it doesn't even work. It doesn't even make contact anymore.
I would be lying if I said I had not vaped the little Indiquadro. Speaking of Indiquadro, my little Indiquadro guy, I actually did pull this out this last week, and unfortunately, it needs to be re-wicked because it's a little floody. You know, RTAs get when you don't vape them for a while. A little floody, still work, but a little floody.
Makes sense.
Low floody.
So who's got like vaping related things to talk about? Because I do.
You got the floor, man.
So
Nice scarf, by the way, Fu.
Thank you. It's alpaca.
It's alpaca? Nice.
Yeah.
So Brian,
Hecho en Peru.
Ooh. Yeah.
Brian, you can feel free to chime in throughout the course of this conversation as well, because this is going to be a very Narmod-centric conversation.
Yeah, and
Like every episode of the Plumes of Hazard.
Yeah, I gave my first impressions last week, but now that I've had a week and a half or something to vape on it, I am a little more comfortable to talk about it.
Awesome. So I go through the history of Narmods and I get the Narda, and I don't vape it until after I have surgery and I start mouth to lung, right after my mouth gets fixed, and then that's all I vape. Then the Narca comes out, and I vape that a lot. And it's really good, and I believe if I said it, I'm pretty sure that I said I think it's a little better than the Narda, and I still hold to that. However, I have a bell cap that I really love for the Narda, so I still use this more. Mm-hmm. And I'm used to it at this point. I used it for like basically a year straight.
Yeah, we were solid on it.
Yeah. So as much as I like the Ka, I still use the Da. So now the EA comes in. And the EA is difficult for me to talk about because it's a complicated atomizer.
Yes.
It's beautiful and it's interesting and the vape is good. But it's built for a very different vape style than mine. So as an example, like I'm a pretty like hard pull vapor. So like the Narda whistles a little bit. So like here's the Narda. A little bit of whistle, but relatively smooth.
If you pull on it, hard, that whistle kind of goes away, and I think that's one of the reasons why we started pulling a little harder.
Maybe,
but not enough to rip the skin.
But not enough to rip the skin.
So you go to the Narda, which is super duper fucking smooth, right? Like
you go to the what? Sorry,
the CA, which is super duper smooth.
Super smooth.
And probably the best vaping out of them. And I'm really enjoying the PB&J that's in there. And then you get the EA, which the way I vape is super duper fucking turbulent because that's really loud and really turbulent. So I put in the normal build, one of the coils that I got from people here, vaped it the way I vaped it on. I normally vape on a mech and it wasn't really doing it for me. And then Nar posted that whole big thing about like try vaping it a little differently.
Yes.
So I did. So I wrapped my old coil, which was like the 8 wrap 27 gauge, like 1.6 ohm, and I stuck it on a DNA mod. Much, much better that way. However, it's much, much better than that if I kind of vape softly. Like, yes. Very good if I vape softly.
Yes.
Problem is, I don't really vape softly. So while the flavor is very, very good, and the atomizer is very, very nice, and the build quality is it's the coolest looking thing he's ever made, hands down.
By far.
It doesn't really vape the way I vape. And I feel like he kind of said that, right? Like this is a big departure from him. For him.
It is. It is a big departure for him, and you do have to vape it differently. I mentioned last week that I had to bust up. By the way, Robbie, I had to bust up one of your coils because all the ones that I had were wrapped the wrong way for the EA. So I had to carefully unwrap a Clapton, rewrap it the wrong way, and build it up for that first couple days. And I was not enjoying it. It was a little spitty. I was feeling like it was a little hot leggy, but that really had nothing to do with what it didn't have totally to do with the atomizer. It had to do with the fact that I just fucked up a Clapton coil to get it in there, which is why I was getting that hot leggy thing. But the other problem is it was wrapped at a 0.35. 0.35 when the chamber is basically your drip tip.
Yeah.
Which is the case with this thing, which is why it tastes amazing if it's built right. But at 0.35, the fucking thing's spitting, and it is hot because there's not as much air coming through it either. I do feel like that the airflow is a little restricted because it's a little more turbulent. And so I really started enjoying this thing when I rewrapped my old standard, my standard unregulated build, which is parallel 27s. When I did parallel 27s and it's at 0.4, way better on unregulated. It was much less hot, still quite hot, but not like
you're making a little bit more room inside that chamber too.
A hair more room inside the chamber, and not quite as high resistance, so it's not quite as hot. No, Robbie, they're all the same way for whatever reason, and that's fine because it's fine because this is a new Addy, and you didn't know I was going to.
All the ones that I got from Rob were wrapped the right way for this. It just doesn't look great in this.
Back to your draw strength, though, by the way. You and I both, I think, started vaping that way with the DA because that was just the best way to get the best flavor out of that thing. But over this last few months, when I've been spending a lot more time with the Vena, which has got a much more restricted draw on it, I don't have to pull it that hard in order to get the right vape. So I think I've gotten lazier about my draw, and it's not quite as strong, right? I just sort of ice inhale, and it's great.
Being said,
but
go ahead.
Yeah, no. So I don't think you're wrong. I do think that it is slightly more restricted. It's definitely a little more turbulent, but I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing because it doesn't feel like that on the drag itself. It does sound like that though, and I agree with you. I do understand that not liking that the whooshier sound that you're not used to with a NAR product, because it definitely is not as quiet as, for example, the CA is.
CA is dead quiet.
Yeah. One thing that Todd did mention that I agree with him about, one of the very few things as far as the build and the milling and the design of the atomizer goes that I don't care for quite as much is the fact that, unlike the CA, the EA is not keyed. The top cap's not keyed.
Yeah,
and I really like that about the CA. It felt like a much more solid, purpose-built
cap.
Design.
Yeah.
This one is a little bit more old school, right? It's just a.
But the deck is brilliant. Like,
the deck is so good.
Carve outs to like clip your wire. Like the deck is fucking brilliant. But
the build is so much easier.
Oh, yeah. But like here's the honest thing about it. Like I have a DA, I have a CA. This was another thing that vaped like that. I have a funny feeling I'd be disappointed anyway. So realistically, if I had to rank my NAR products, the CA is probably my favorite, even though I use the DA more.
Yeah.
The DA would be number 2, and the EA would be number 3. But again, like if this thing vaped like the things I already had, it would just be like, it vapes just like the things I have, but you can't have one.
Yeah. But you can't. But for me, though, I've always ranked part of my large, heavily weighted pros and cons things is ease of build.
Yep.
And that thing is one of the things that makes the Haku, the Vena specifically, one of the reasons I like that so much is not only does it vape similarly to a good NAR product, it builds so easy. It's such an easy build.
I did not like either of the Hakus that I had. I had a Phenom and a Vena, and I didn't like either of them.
Yeah. But you had to love the build. The build is so
good. I did love the build, but I didn't love the vape.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we vape different juices, so that makes sense, right? with the more savory flavors like rail cracker, fantastic. But I would agree with you. It's not as good as for example, a CA with something like abolishment. I think I'd rather have an R product for the abolishment, personally.
So it may be my least favorite, but I am glad it's different.
Yes,
and I am glad to experience that difference. But it is my least favorite of the 3.
As far as vape quality goes, I might have to agree. But if you think an overall experience, and I have to include build in that, the build is so good in the EA.
The problem is I rebuild so little.
That's also true.
That the build quality, I don't think gets weighted the same for me. Because I'll keep a coil in there for months at a time.
I completely agree, and that's something that I still. It's more of a mental thing, I think, for me, knowing that is important, even though it's not important except every 3+ months. and even then, it's just an extra couple of minutes, right, to bend the legs out right to get it to mount at DA.
If that, it took an extra 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's really pretty silly, but I don't know. To me, it's just an important thing.
It's kind of the best in between. It's got what I think probably the smoothest vape out of all of them.
Yes,
it's an easy build. It's not as easy as the EA, sure, but it's an easy build.
Yes,
and it vapes great. And the juice well on the CA and DA are bigger, meaning I can vape it longer before I have to squonk, which is also kind of nice.
By far. And they don't over squonk quite as easily.
Yep.
The EA does, you do have a little bit of a gentle push when it comes to the EA because there is no chamber. And if you've ever vaped a 16 millimeter Addy, you know exactly what we're talking about.
16 millimeter Addy. And I used to vape only 16 millimeter Addies.
Right.
So here's the other, and so I can tell you exactly why I use the DA the most. The CA's big downfall is I've got this big, thick-ass metal cap on it, and I did not like the bell cap that was made for it because it wasn't keyed and it wasn't carved in the way the way the actual cap is. So you lose the vape quality.
Yep.
But the bell cap keeps everything so much cooler.
Yes.
So I still use the DA because I have that bell cap that keeps everything so much cooler.
Just like that Helios I had. That freaking thing would get so freaking hot, man, because it's so tiny.
And the DA gets hot too if you chain vape it. And I chain, like when I'm at work, I chain vape.
Yeah, and what makes it worse is the drip tip that he includes, that he's been including for the last couple of years, right? That shorty drip tip
I hate that
is amazingly hot.
Yep.
Holy crap, is that thing hot? The first thing I did after I took like 2 or 3 drags off the EA when I first got it, is I took that drip tip out. I put a Omen one in because it was so damn hot. Because I think like you, I vape hot. The vape that comes out of there is hot, but I don't like it to burn my mouth. So that's the way the bell caps come in.
I've also, in general, found that I get a better flavor experience from a thinner board drip tip because it's more directed. Like, even the 2 Omen tips that I have, the one on the EA and the one on the DA, the one on the EA is a much thinner, or the one on the DA is a much thinner bore.
Yeah.
And I get a better vape quality. However, interestingly enough, I have found out that a wider bore on the EA is better. The chamber is so small that I'd rather have the wider bore because I don't need that focused flavor coming in because the chamber is so fucking tiny.
Yeah.
So like the EA goes against the way I've vaped for the last 2 years almost entirely, which is why it's so hard for me to wrap my head around it, I think, and why I didn't want to come on last week and talk about it. Yeah. Because I didn't yet have my head wrapped around it.
Right.
Because it's a complete departure from the way that NAR has taught me to vape.
What's up, sheep? And yes, I completely agree. That said, now that I've increased my resistance, right? I've got the Parallel 27s. It's great. It's fantastic.
I've also dropped my wattage by about 5 watts.
What's that?
I've also dropped the wattage on this by about 5 watts.
A bit. I believe it.
So, I mean, I was probably around 27-ish. Like, I sit around 27 or 28 on my normal build. This is 23.
Yeah. NAR's suggestions himself was to throw it on a regulated mod and have your wattage and then bump up from there.
And I listened to his, and that's when I started getting the better experience.
Yeah. Yeah. And I didn't, but then again, I'm unregulated anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I just know I had to take that key coil out because it wasn't doing right. And there's nothing wrong with the coil. It was the fact that I messed it up, right, in order to get it wrapped for it. And the only reason I did that is because I wanted legs on the bottom, right? Legs down, not legs up, baby.
Even if you had it right, I don't know that you would have enjoyed the Clapton as much as you would have enjoyed the thinner coil.
I would guarantee it because it's too hot.
Yep. It's too it's so close to the deck that the deck heats up so fast at that point, as opposed to having a little bit more space there where it's not heating up and holding heat the same way to heat up that deck.
Yeah.
You're not cooking anything that way.
Right. I did, speaking of which, even though I have increased my resistance, which decreases your wattage, even though I did do that and I am liking the vape out of it, I have found that I have to replace my cotton more often. It's getting more cooked in there just because it is a hot, small chamber. The other thing that I noticed, and this happens extraordinarily rarely, when I first build the EA, I can taste shadows, which never happens.
I agree with that.
Never happens. You can't ever taste shadow.
It's because the chamber is that big.
Exactly.
You can taste everything. The flavor's great.
The flavor is solid. The build's great. The airflow is different, and I'm not sure it's my favorite. I think I'm with you in that if I was just going to have the right draw, it would be the CA or the EA.
He needs to make a tank version. I don't know. I've been pretty sold on the Naruto. I don't know why everyone didn't love it.
I really did like the Naruto, but I don't have any mods that don't squonk.
No, that's what I mean. Is that like I don't mind using that in place of squonking because of how easy it is for me to refill. I refill it in like 5 or 6 seconds. I just go, take the needle tip bottle, just move the cotton slightly, squeeze, done. Like out, cap. It's, it's like I love squonking my NAR Addy. It's almost more convenient.
Yeah, until you leave it laying on its side.
Dude, I've done that. I don't know how many times it's never leaked on me. Like,
I did have a really good run with both of his tanks.
Like, because I put, there have been times where, you get off the subway and the bus is already there and you got to sprint a block and a half with your SX Mini belt tightener. So my pants are halfway down my thighs and it's on its side. And by the time I sit down, I'm like, oh, shit. And I go and I look and there's no juice.
I had a really good time with his tanks. Like, I have been impressed with everything that he has made.
Oh, for sure. It's one of those things where you don't even feel too bad about being a bit of a fanboy because the shit they put out's really good. It's really hard to argue with it. Do they have cons? Yeah, they've got cons. Every one of them's got a con or two.
And I was saying in chat earlier, you talk about one Addy being like more quiet than the other. I'm like, every NAR Addy I have is equally noise.
Now, admittedly, I'm really excited because I think I actually might see what he looks like soon.
I'm totally jealous about that, by the way.
I'm pretty sure he was in a video in the machine shop.
He was. Yeah. He was in a very brief video that he put out months and months and months ago.
I might not have seen it.
I think it was the Narca hype video.
Yeah,
for one of them. Yeah,
I think that's right.
But I'm going to LA in a couple of weeks, so like I'm gonna hit him up and be like, dude, let's go get food or something.
Can't believe it. It drives me crazy. You're gonna meet him, and I haven't met him yet.
And he's gonna be like, get on this list to meet me, and I'll pick whoever I want to meet me.
And then Sean's gonna sell
two vouchers before you can meet me.
And then just sell his spot on that list.
I might. Yeah, I'll flip it. I'll flip it to Angsty. 5%.
NARs are so hard to come by. You can find DAs around. You're absolutely right. It is difficult to find a CA. It's difficult to find the 2 tanks because he only made a couple of runs of those things. And I don't know that they were super popular with a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think the people that like them really love them, and they're hard to find. That's true. But you can find a DA, though.
I will say this, though. I was spoiled in my Narta experience because I was sent one with a recommendation to have the mesh wicks put in there. They were in there. I wicked them. And I'm like, wow, this is so good. I can't imagine vaping this not with mesh wicks. Or the mesh straws. Because I can chain vape the shit out of that thing anymore. I never got it to dry hit. Until I didn't realize I was out of juice. But yeah.
When it's, I'm far too lazy to do mesh again.
Dude,
if you do the mesh straws, then you don't really have to mess with them anymore, right?
I'm far too lazy for the pre-burning shit.
Yeah. You don't have to do any of that because there's no current going through that mesh. All it's basically doing is acting as a straw, and then your cotton's doing the rest of the work. You just drape the cotton.
Oh, so you're cotton on top.
Yeah, cotton on top.
Yeah.
That's the Festi patented rule.
I still have the same straws in the tank. I haven't had to change them. I just have to not warp them when I pull them out with tweezers. That's it.
Johan said he's having insomnia, and he thought that we could help. That's probably true. We probably can. We can lull you to sleep with our dulcet tones.
So didn't at one point, though, Mun redesign the CA cap to be in line with the normal CA cap?
What?
I thought that Chris Mun redesigned the CA bell cap to be in line with the actual CA cap.
Really?
I thought so. I could have sworn that I saw a picture of it at one point, and I always meant to try to chase one down. But
you mean with the key?
Yeah.
Or with the bow tie cut out?
With the bow tie cut out and maybe the key.
I doubt it's got a key on it.
Even if it's the bow tie, though, like the bow tie is what it needs.
Gotcha.
So like you give me the bow tie, that's kind of what I need there. That's where the flavor is. That chamber reduction is really where you get the flavor off of that Addy.
It was Roberto who put out the video of Nareg. I remember.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw somebody mention.
Good looks, Festi.
Maybe I saw it. I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm with you, Festi. I didn't think you did it because he uses poly, right? And I would imagine you got to keep that away from the coil.
Interlocking with shit. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm scrolling through the Bell Vapes group now, seeing if I can find it. I could have sworn that I saw a picture of it. But again, I could be wrong. Bell Vapes is still one of the few groups that I'm still in.
I rejoined Vape Court last month because someone we know had a legitimate case. And then I left after the case didn't get resolved the way I thought it should. So that sucked.
Damn them.
Fucking Vape Court.
There was a time where that group was fucking great. Like that was like my reality TV vape show to watch.
Yeah, dude, that group was hilarious.
And a person we know was on it at one point, so that was just great.
The fact that we had a reality TV vape group, though, is a whole nother problem.
No, that's inherent of human beings at this point.
So on that kind of topic, I want to throw out another thing because I'm still in a couple of the advocacy groups and like the industry regulation groups and stuff. Mm-hmm. And like, all right, so here's the deal. I get that there's a lot of fucking hate on JUUL right now. Mm-hmm. Big deal. JUUL is out for their business. Like, that's what the fuck they give a shit about. But like, it is so much fucking hatred towards JUUL, right? Like, you look at any thread where JUUL comes up and it's everybody, I refuse to fucking sell them. I refuse to touch them. Those things are going to kill you like cigarettes kill you.
Vapors are saying that?
Yes.
It's an easy target, right? They are now taking the place of big tobacco for the bad guy.
Because they're successful and they got more people to quit smoking than we ever could.
Well, and they've also got they're also in the news all the time.
It's also because normies are using them. That's really it.
Yeah, it's because normies are using them, exactly.
And that's the goal we set out to when we did this. And you know what? JUUL beat us to the punch.
So that's the shit that I want to fucking talk about because, like, fucking hate that shit all you want, whatever. I don't give a shit. But, like, let's be honest. It is the best, hands down, tobacco cessation device that has ever been made. I have no question in my mind about
second to the core.
I would say made and marketed and done the right way.
Sure. But I also think it's the closest hit to a cigarette that I've ever tried. And it just so happens to be the thing that got people like my mother, who would never take to vaping, away from smoking.
So Fu and I both, just to catch you up from last week, Fu and I both said that if JUUL had been around in 2013, we'd never be a hobbyist vapor.
And I would agree with that statement. Yeah. I would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
I would have probably been in the same boat.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, pod out, pod in. Not fucking unscrew your drip tip, refill your CE4.
Pod out, pod in, and good quality. Okay. Because the Cigalikes were like that, but they were shit quality.
They were in great quality.
Yeah.
And it took, 2 or 3 years to get it right.
So Altria owns them now, I guess. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But when we talk about business for a second, because this is fucking business 101, and this is the thing that I think you guys can all agree, like, this is what escapes people who own vape shops, like the general tenets of owning a fucking business. Escapes most vape shop owners. JUUL is going to protect their business. They're in this for their business's interests. They're not here to save the open vapor market because they don't play in that market and they don't give a flying shit about that market. That's business. And that's how businesses work. Just like every vape shop owner wants to fucking shut JUUL down because JUUL is cutting into their business. JUUL, however, is not trying to take cheap-ass pot shots at fucking vape shops and is offering things to vape shops. So the post in question was that JUUL was sending out a secret shopper thing, like saying, hey, we might secret shop you because you carry JUUL products, and if we're found that you are not carding people or doing this, we're going to remove your ability to sell. That's kind of fucking responsible.
Yes.
And everybody's flipping shit about it. What fucking right does JUUL have to do this, blah, blah, blah. That's fucking responsible of them.
You should be doing that anyway because that's the law.
Exactly.
That's a problem. It's just too much. It's a too small-minded approach to something that's
horrendously small-minded.
Yeah, that's always been the industry's problem.
The problem is, though, the problem that I have with it and why it fucking fires me up so much when I see it is because how many people acting that way are we not getting to not smoke because people are being petty little shits?
Yeah.
Like, the point of this at the end of the day has always been for people to not smoke. I don't care if they use a fucking JUUL. I don't care if they use the heat not burn shit or if they use snus or whatever. They're not smoking.
Yeah, and it's also always been a thing. Like, the industry's always needed someone to point a finger at, right? Like the crucifixions, right? Mine was more in jest and satirical, but people got fucking vicious over that shit, man.
Yeah.
Like, pointing out, like, not companies like JUUL, but a company like, I can't even remember these fucking.
Well, I remember fucking the hate that Enjoy got for a long time.
Oh yeah, I do.
Come into the market, right? And Enjoy tried to come into the open vapor market.
Because here's the thing: people thought Enjoy was like JUUL. People thought Enjoy was JUUL. They're a big corporate company. They have money. We don't like them. And they made mistakes. They absolutely did. That's why they're not in the open market anymore. They're back where they made their bones, which is the C-store game.
But it drives me nuts that vape shop owners, people who are here specifically, and again, they have their business to protect, but these are people who, and like they're taking the high road. We want people to not smoke. JUUL doesn't care, whatever. It drives me nuts that they're trying to take this fucking ethical high road with this situation while denying a product that has probably helped people not smoke more than any other product that's ever been made.
But remember, these are the same people too that stopped everything that they were doing to cheer that Scott Gottlieb was getting, was dropping out of the race, as if that was any kind of win for anything.
Sure. I don't know. I just have a big problem with it because it goes against, like, you can't at least fucking own up to your own bullshit and don't try to take the fucking high road like you're high money.
That's a tall order, man. You know who you're speaking to?
I do. If you don't like JUUL because they're cutting into your fucking business and hurting your shop, just say I don't like JUUL because they're cutting into my business and hurting my shop.
Start carrying the fucking pods.
Don't fucking go around saying like that 54 milligram nicotine that's probably worse than cigarettes is killing people. That's not what we fucking need right now.
Yeah, because you know what? It doesn't help us either.
It helps no one.
We're all the same douchebag. Yeah. End of the day.
No one to do that shit. Anyway, end of fucking rant. I'm done now. That's all I have to talk about.
That's all you got to talk about. Where'd it go? Oh yeah, there we go.
Touche.
Yeah.
When I was cleaning my desk the other day, I found my JUUL.
My mom has like 4 of them. Like, she just brings the JUUL. She brings like 3 or 4, and when the battery dies, she plugs it in and grabs another one.
Yeah,
you need 2. There are like a lot of people at work that I work with who have one JUUL charging, and they'll have one in like their shirt pocket because that's just smart. That's why you had two CE4s, and 2 Ego batteries or some shit.
And I work with people who say, like, use a JUUL. Yeah. Yep.
Yo, see, weren't you like okay about the cool cucumber? I don't know if that was you or someone else, but yeah, see, I told you it's crack.
Who, me?
No, Wet Shrek.
Oh.
Yeah, the mango pods and the cool cucumber, which they bring out for limited times, are fucking great.
I never tried the cool cucumber.
The mango pods were really fucking good. I never tried the cool cucumber either. But then everybody flipped out when JUUL pulled flavors out of fucking C-stores.
Yeah.
So here's the other part of this. Now I got another one.
You said you're done.
Yeah, but now I got another one. and this comes into this concept. So like everybody talks about the child vaping epidemic and all that shit, right? Yeah. I was talking to Matt Colley about this the other day. Vapors are trying to be like, it's not an epidemic, it's this or it's that or it's whatever. Like, when we should just own up to the fact that it is a problem.
It is.
Like, it's a problem. A lot of fucking kids vape. That's a real problem. It's a thing. It exists. We can make a comment that, like, that's on the parents and not on the fucking product, which that's a proper argument. There's a lot of proper arguments that you can make here. But don't say, like, oh, well, that's just propaganda and kids don't actually vape. Like, fucking trying to hide it under the rug doesn't fucking...
It's a false flag, man.
I do think kids absolutely have tried, and some of the kids do vape. I don't think anybody's saying that that's not happening, because if they are, they're absolutely wrong. It's totally happening.
Yeah, my brother deals with that shit all the time. Like, his kids, like, he has his students either trying to stealth it in class. This is like, he deals with this shit every day, 6 periods a day. Either they're hitting it in class or they go to the bathroom. My brother knows what vape smells like from living with me, so he knows. They go to the bathroom, hit it. They'll even fucking get high in the bathroom, whatever. It's like,
well, but that's where I was going.
Yeah.
So, yes, the kids are doing it, but the kids used to do the same thing with cigarettes.
I know they
did. Do the same damn thing with cigarettes.
When I was in high school, if you were a real fucking edgelord, you'd be ballsy enough to go to the bathroom and smoke a cigarette and come back smelling like a fucking cigarette, and no one's gonna do anything.
Absolutely.
Trying to pretend that no one's doing it or it's not a problem isn't helping anybody. Like, that helps no situation whatsoever.
Right.
Like, we should just admit it. And then we should turn around and be like, well, look at our age verification and look at these things that we're doing that are responsible to address this problem.
Right.
I remember I was at the fucking Knoll one day years and years ago, Jesus. And a mom came in with her fucking little kid. Like, he must have been 12 years old, man. Like, And the kid at the counter, and he picks up what he wants, and the mom goes to buy it. And they just looked at her and they go, "Is that for your kid?" She's like, "Well, no, it's for me. Like, I don't believe you. I'm not going to sell you this." She's like, "Well, what the fuck? Why not?" "Because it's for your kid."
Right.
She goes, "Well, it's better than him fucking smoking." And they're like, "You're not wrong, but I'm not going to sell you this."
Right.
That's fucking responsible. Let's talk about that. Let's do shit like that more instead of being like, "Oh, it's not a big deal. It's not."
Whoa! I thought like the Trump 50 was just gonna like save us. So
yeah.
everyone's just like, "Yeah, we're good. Let's just chill for 6 months and wait for something to come out." I'm like, "Oh fuck, Scott Gottlieb is out."
Yeah. Yay! Let's throw a party.
Point. If you actually like, there is data, and there's decent fucking data on it. But I go find a link if I get time. But there's actual data that it is a problem. But to Angsty's point, it's no different than fucking kids smoking.
Yeah,
probably better for them.
We all would agree that it's obviously it's 95% better for them.
99.9 according to the Royal College of Physicians.
Right. But you know, we do need to address the fact that that is a thing, right? We do need to say that it's not okay for people under 18 to vape, just like it's not okay for them to smoke. And if they're going to break the rules, then they can break the rules, but that still needs to be an admitted thing that's happening.
Correct.
But then we need to address it by saying people under 18 can't buy them, and just make that federal or whatever the hell it needs to be.
However they have to do it, yeah.
Yeah. Because, I mean, nicotine, just like caffeine, just like artificial sweeteners and all that stuff, it's not good for developing neurosystems. It's just not. Keep it out of their hands as best you can, but don't screw over all of the adult people that are trying to not smoke.
Agreed.
You know, there's both things that we need to address at the same time, and I think it can be done as long as you're not stupid.
But I think there's the concept of taking responsibility and being honest about a situation makes you go a lot farther in that situation when you try to make a point.
Yeah.
So, and even like I was talking to somebody that I work with the other day who doesn't smoke and doesn't vape, and he was talking about getting a vape, and I'm like, why? He's like, what do you mean? Like the flavors and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, don't. He's like, why not? I'm like, because you don't smoke.
Yes.
Like, putting nothing in your body is always going to be better than putting is always going to be better for you than putting something in your body. So if you don't need it, don't do it. Like, don't just do it because people are, right?
Right.
And we've given that advice for years.
The same argument is, okay, fine. This one hit of heroin's not going to kill you. It's probably not going to kill you, but it's a really bad idea.
Instead of smoking that entire crack rock, portion it out. Have you heard of meal prep?
I prefer more like the intermittent fasting thing. So I take that crack block all at once, and then I wait a day and have the next one.
Oh, until you're like sick and need another rock.
Oh yeah, well, intermittent fasting.
No, you should just do intermittent cracking, which is like smoke a piece of that rock like every 3-4 hours.
Hey, look, crack is keto, okay? Like that fits.
Oh, I thought crack was whack. I thought that's what that was.
Crack is also keto.
But it's also keto.
It's also keto. Yeah. I'm sure.
And
but not very cash money.
Yeah.
You're still always going to get it. You can't put that fucking genie back in the bottle.
Yeah, and you're not wrong. Of course you can. And that's what we're saying about the same thing about cigarettes, right? It's illegal for somebody under 18 to smoke, to purchase tobacco, alcohol, cigarettes or whatever, right? But we all got it. Back in the day when we were smoking, under 18, we definitely got cigarettes, but we were breaking the law, right?
Actually, yeah, not entirely true.
And they passed a lot of legislation to try and combat that.
First off, I was a boy, and I didn't start smoking until I was 18. But
I definitely did.
If I remember correctly here, how this law was structured, it was not illegal for a kid to smoke. It was illegal for a kid to buy cigarettes.
Right.
You couldn't do anything about a kid who smoked.
Right.
They can only prosecute the person who sold it to them.
Right.
So that's a different thing. Like, we want kids to not smoke, but we don't want to make it illegal for kids to smoke. We want to make it illegal to sell them.
Yeah, that's probably true, Robot. Probably true. But I'm just saying that as responsible lawmakers or whatever, right, we can still say not okay to buy it. If you break the law, okay. You know, we can't go after the 16-year-old that's trying to buy vape juice, but we can say shops, hey, card. Yeah.
And I'm perfectly fine with prosecuting shops who sell the fucking minors.
Sure, absolutely.
100%.
There's no prosecution. They get fined and then
Now I'm done.
Now you're done.
I mean, if I didn't have so much fucking gray hair, I'd probably, I'd just go and look like a biter and be like, you got those sub-ohms, dude?
What are you doing, fellow?
Yeah, dude, do the vapors not even know what a sub-ohm is? Everyone's on pods now and shit.
Dude, sub-ohms will blow you up.
Yeah, I know. Fucking Mike Morgan came into the shop I was working at and said that.
So I actually found all the screen caps the other day from the No Dumb Ohm Zone.
Nice.
I was reading through them and it was fucking hilarious. Oh, that was a good one. But yeah, I found all of those. It was great. That made my night. That's the real reason why I'm back tonight. Nostalgia.
Yeah.
Thanks to you turning gray.
What?
Yeah, you are turning gray. I'm turning gray too, though.
Oh, dude, I've had several
for a while. It's just longer than normal.
Yeah, I am. I'm due for a trim. We're getting a little long.
Yeah, these when these start like, I get the waves. That's when I got to get a haircut. It's become too visible.
And it does look, when it's longer, it does look a little more obvious than when I've got it.
I just do the low light now because I'm turning gray too. So I keep the light down.
Gray's fine. Gray hair is better than no hair. Remember that.
I agree. And I have no problem.
All right, you already decided to not have hair. I forgot.
My wife commented on it the other day. I said, yeah, if I go gray, I go gray. Like, I don't really care.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, exactly.
Poorly applied just for men. So he has dye stains in his forehead and face.
So you have different parts of your head at different colors. I don't know what the gray is about, but whatever.
I did tell a guy in my office who was balding when he mentioned that I shaved my head that I thought it was the only dignified thing to do.
Yeah. Sure.
I realized that he was also losing his hair, and he kind of gave me a look. I'm like, hey, man, I stand by. It's the only dignified thing to do if it's going.
That's the thing, too, is like, so you start getting gray hair. Fucking everybody does. Like, you know?
But not everybody has gray hair.
Well,
I've
yeah.
had several since for the last. In fact, it's been about 10 years that I've had several, multiple in my beard.
Yeah,
I will admit, yours would look better if they were evenly gray.
Yeah,
More
yeah.
one side than the other. Like,
I am weighted. I'm weighted more on this side.
The other side is growing in, dude.
Yeah,
he's gonna have teenagers soon. That shit'll be fucking white. Everything will be white.
The thing you gotta do is do like Polly from The Sopranos and dye the side silver. It has to be in like that pattern. Anyone watch Sopranos and chat knows exactly what I'm talking about. That's a look to rock. The wings, I think they call it.
Yeah.
I have a few white hairs in my beard, and I do not like them because the texture of the hair has changed as a result. It's like sewing thread. I hate that.
So my problem, I can't do the big beard thing because every time I try, and I do try, like every year I try, but mine just like poofs out, and I can never get away from the poof out part to the part where it like goes down nicely.
You need to go to a barber.
I know.
Not Dogma's barber.
Yeah, not Dogma's barber, but you need to.
That
Yo,
should be
I almost freaking went and got a picture that he had posted, and the shit was crooked again, and I almost drew all up on it, and I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna do that to
Wait,
him.
he sent you a picture?
I can let it get to that stage though.
No, it was a silver membership, gold membership at one of the hotels.
Okay, diamond status.
Diamond status. I'm sorry. So
He's coming for you now.
No, but yeah, Sean. So if you let it poof out and then you go to a barber, they'll get you. They'll get you on the right way.
Yep.
So,
but it's just really easy to just kind of keep it at a reasonable length.
Yeah.
especially now coming into summer, because I mean it gets fucking hot here in the humid. So maybe I'll try it in the winter, but I'm not going to try it in the summer.
I realized something last summer. My beard is not what makes me hot. I always run hot. It's the hair. It's the hair on the head, and I'm not. I'm not in that phase. Yeah, it's like the only place from my face that I actually sweat is here.
Yeah.
Everything else is trickle down.
I don't have that problem. I mean, I really only wear the hat anymore in the winter because my head gets cold.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the summer, I don't really wear the hat anymore.
What I need to do, because some days if I have to run to catch a subway, I get hot very quickly. So some days I'm already sweating through my shirt when I get to work. What I need to do is I'm wearing my backpack, and you get one of those clamp fans you clamp on a desk. Clamp it, have it blowing at me, and then I could spray water through, like those spray bottles.
Yeah.
With the yeah. I think I need that. Dude, I melt some days, dude.
Dude, if you've ever tried, I tried on it was it looked like one of those Under Armour shirts. This was a few years back, but it had built-in cooling with cold water that ran through it. And
cooling?
Yeah, it had freaking water cooling in
RGB?
No, not RGB. but dude, that stuff that works. Like, you get the chills when it's cooling the whole your whole. I mean, it's just your whole core is cooling down. So that's pretty neat.
So what I do when I get to work is I just do the cold water in a towel, like rag, and just back of the neck.
With summer coming and me going to an office now, I actually just ordered before the show a few linen dress shirts because they should breathe way the fuck better.
They do.
Yep.
And I've never owned a linen dress shirt before, but I just ordered a couple because I feel like that will be very nice to have in the summer.
Many years ago, I had a couple linen shirts. I had a couple seersucker shirts, which also work really well in that.
I'm wearing them right now.
Yeah. That's kind of a southern thing, though, I think.
What?
Yeah, I've never heard of that before.
Seersucker.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah, I don't know if that's cool at the moment. I might have to ask somebody.
I've never heard of it before.
My conundrum is that I have to wear an undershirt with my dress shirts or button downs in general. Even though it's the cooler method to go no undershirt, I'm also going to sweat through it that much quicker. I need the undershirt as a buffer.
You got to start rocking like Under Armour as your undershirt then, so you get the wicking.
No, the problem is the sweat will show up on my outside shirt that much quicker. I've already tried that.
Here you go, Sean. This is seersucker.
Oh, okay.
Yep, I had a shirt like that in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
I like me a good like Under Armour shirt underneath because cotton's just hot.
Yeah, shit, that's cool as hell.
Yeah, while true, it also won't get wet as quickly as.
Wait, what is that, Angsty?
I like that a lot for a blazer material. I like a little bit of blazer.
Seersucker.
Does it keep you cool or something?
Yeah, it's kind of like linen, but it's got a pattern to it. And I think part of the things what it does is it kind of will mask a little bit of a little sweat that may make it to your shirt. If it makes it out there, I think you can't see it quite as much because it's got some texture to it. Not to mention it's kind of a linen-y stuff, right? So it's like all cotton linen stuff anyway. It's a looser weave. Anyway, now it's plumes of fabric.
So that's the thing, though. I really do like a blazer with a little bit of texture. Like if I'm going to wear a blazer specifically, I want a little bit of texture.
Yeah, you might like it then.
It makes it a little more like a textured blazer is a little bit more casual and like just enough to wear with like a pair of jeans as opposed to like a wool or like normal blazer.
Yeah.
So,
so you're strictly long sleeve. See, I'm like that with dress shirt.
So that's what I'm talking about. Dress shirts. Strictly long sleeve with dress shirts. I will not wear short sleeve dress shirts.
I've had a few short sleeve dress shirts, and the only place that I've ever worn them was when I was staffed in Atlanta over the summer at a particular client, and it was so hot. I actually broke my own rule.
Sleeves go up to elbow.
Yeah.
Or farther. But like how did you put it? Because it was perfect.
Put what?
Short sleeve dress shirts.
Oh yeah, they're for people who go door to door selling Bibles.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's what we called them. Like you look like a Bible salesman.
Right.
Yeah, I will do people have told me to do like fashion segments in there. Like I'm not like the most fashion person. I just know how to not look like a schmuck when I go to work or go out.
Right.
That's about it. We can do that. Do that. Actually, you know what? I should have people or send me pictures of like their best outfit or like this is my Pussy Slayer outfit, and I'm gonna critique it. You have to not be afraid to get roasted though.
You charge some money for that service.
Hey, you should make that one of our Patreon rewards.
There you go.
Yeah. Premium Snap intro.
If you would like a hat evaluated, however, you can ask Anxie or myself.
Premium.
Yeah. All right. Well, it was excellent seeing everybody.
It was.
Yeah. I'm sorry I didn't have better teammates in Rocket League to start the show. That was bad. They were basically Copper League people.
Woohoo.
Huh?
I think everybody missed that one. You were talking about Rocket League. I dropped the woohoo from the DuckTales theme song.
Oh, that was not a very well delivered woohoo.
It was. I'm too tired for that.
All right. Thank you, everybody. We will see you next week, March 27th, 9-ish p.m. Okay?
Ish.
Okay.